Want to welcome all the listeners again for listening to us this early in the morning. And I totally agree with what you're saying, Miss Weiss. And while you were saying that, I actually thought about something. If I can remember my thought. What I thought about was, I remember when I was a kid, and I used to get in trouble because I wasn't a perfect child. I used to get in trouble sometime. And not my mom. She wouldn't say anything. She would just handle her business. But my father, every time before he used to kick my butt, he would always say these words to me, and I never knew what it meant. It didn't make sense to me. I thought he was crazy. But once I turned 18, 19, and 20, then it finally started making sense. But it made sense to him all the time. And he used to always say these words to me: boy or son, this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. And I never could put that together because I was the one getting the whooping. So how is it hurting him? That's the part I didn't understand as a child. But I was thinking with a child's mind. As I grew up and I matured and I started thinking differently along those lines, I realized what he meant was this. It breaks his heart to have to whoop me because he was chastising me, and he was not really hurting me, but giving me what I needed, which is called discipline. But he didn't want to discipline me that way. But the reason that he decided to discipline me that way is because I kept getting myself in trouble. And he figured when he put that belt on my behind, that would stop and slow down the process of me getting myself in trouble. And it actually did. Of course, it took a while. So that's what he was saying to me when he said, son, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you, because he didn't want to do that to me. But as my father, he had to do something to try to teach me and raise me and make me a good member or a good citizen of society, like Junior was saying. And then I'll add something else to that. I think these days, children are in a whole nother era, because in the era that I grew up in, if my mother was at work and my father was gone and I done something wrong and my neighbors or anybody got wind of it, or if someone told on me, my neighbor would snatch me up by my shirt collar, take me in the house and get a belt, put it to my butt, and have me sit on that couch or on the floor or whatever right there in the corner and don't move until my parents got home. I couldn't watch TV, I couldn't do anything, just sit right there. This is after I got my behind beat. Then as soon as my mother or my father get home, preferably my mother, they would go straight to my mother and tell my mother what I done, tell my mother that they kicked my butt. My mother would tell them, oh, thank you so much for kicking his butt, because that's just what he needed. I'll take him from here. Right. And then my mother would kick my butt again. So I actually got 2 whoopings for one problem, or for one thing I did. And that was called a village raising a child back then. Mm-hmm. These days is totally different. Some races, I guess, still have a village raising a child. I don't know, but in the African American heritage, is very rare right now that a village raise a child. These children these days, they want to kind of roll up to you, they want to talk back, they want to look at you, they want to be disrespectful, they want to do all this, and I deal with all that stuff. But I'm sharp enough not to let it penetrate or get to me, you know. And I still try to do what they call each one, reach one, and teach one. But it's just tough and it's challenging, because every parent that has kids, I mean, nobody's perfect. Everybody wants to live a good life. Like Snoop Dogg say, living my best life. Everybody wants to live their best life. But a good parent, or now I won't say a good parent, most parents want their children to just do something either better than what they did in their life, if you want to look at it like that, or there's another way to look at it. Whatever you do in your life, just be 2 things: very successful and be happy. And that's not asking for too much. And the way to be successful is you have to figure out what you're going to do, like get an education, open up a business, learn how to do something that's going to make you some money to support yourself, and find something to do that you're happy doing. And if you get paid good money doing it, then you should be happy. So if you find something that you like to do and you do it, it won't be like a job, even though you're getting paid for it, because you like to do it. And if you're happy, because there's a whole lot of people in America that work every day, and I'm one of them. I'm not happy with this crazy job I got, but it's a job. You know what I mean? And I know life goes on. So basically, we all just trying to teach our kids, and this era is completely different. So that's all I wanted to say.
Anthony is.
And here we have Junior. Hold on.
Wait a minute, but Anthony, you're such a motor mouth. You made me
No, but
forget.
does that make sense?
But you mentioned a valid point. I just have
Does
to
that
make.
make sense, though?
It does. I just want to mention. I know that you want to wrap up, Junior. That's good. We can go get the topicals. But that's a valid point when you
Which
said the first point where you mentioned where with the child that when you have to incorporate some corporate discipline to that child, and you says that your parents said this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you.
Yes.
Now I understood your concept of it. With my child, I never did really like to spank Janae. You know, she only got 3 spankings in her lifetime. But my thing,
cousins did it for her.
So you had a different way of
I never
disciplining
spanked the
that.
cousins either. You know that. I never spanked you either. I don't believe in corporal punishment.
Well, you had a way of
But
disciplining them.
oh yeah, I
Perhaps
got
it was
them.
different
I
because
got
you
them
got
back in
something
another
trying to
way.
keep them in line. I
Definitely,
promise
they
you did.
definitely stayed in line. This is my take on that little thing where you say that. You know, this
And
is
it's
gonna
gonna
hurt.
hurt me
This
more
gonna,
than it hurts you,
right.
right?
When parents say that, me being a parent, I said that to Janae when she received her first spanking from me. I felt I had to cry because I taught you not to make this mistake or not to do these type of things, and here it is, you go and do it. So how frustrating. Here she is laughing at
But she
me
wasn't
because I'm
perfect, though.
expressing this.
Even
No,
though you teach her,
but
she's
if
not perfect. It take her time to learn.
we had a set of rules in my household,
rules every day.
and Janae chose to just break it. Not only did you have the rules, but the rules were written down for you,
Right.
typed up, so you could not
Yes.
say that my handwriting
Yes.
was illegible or anything.
Well, let me ask you,
but
how
this
old was she?
child went and well, how
At this
old?
time, what was her age?
I'm gonna say Janae was probably about
2.
no. You didn't get a spanking
is
at
a
2.
factor in this
You were
situation.
probably
2 years
about
old,
you.
people.
No, you were
How old was
probably
she?
about 7 or 8 years old.
Okay, you have to give her a little lightweight
and-
pass. A lightweight pass.
Right.
At 7 or 8, you give her a
And
pass.
so, right, and my child, I always told Janae when I sat her down and talked to her, I always told her, I want to tell you this once. I don't like repeating myself because repetition is not good. It only creates more havoc, I believe. So I want to repeat this, and I want you to catch it, and then I want you to follow my instructions. Even when we studied, whatever we were, if there was just a discussion, catch it the first time. The child would catch it because she was bright. But yet you go and do whatever it was that she required that spanking for. She goes and do it, and that's what hurt me.
I understand. And not to interrupt, but let me ask you a question. She said she was about 7 or 8. Is that correct?
She was about 7 or 8.
Do you know Porter?
Mm-hmm.
That's my grandson. He's about 7 or 8, maybe 9. But when he was 7 or 8, he may be 7 or 8 now. But when Porter was 7 or 8, and you know his mother, she stays on him, kind of like he was on Janae, if not even more. So Porter is a learner, and he's a fast learner, probably like Janae is. But I've seen Porter a couple of times doing things his mother told him not to do, and it might be something very small, not even nothing big. And he would do it again, and he would do it because of his age and because he would forget. And when he did do it, he would say, "Oh, sorry. Oh, I remember now." So was Janae like that? So kids forget is what I'm trying to say. Then they think about it for like 5 or 10 seconds, and they come back and they say, "Oh, sorry, that's right. Oh, sorry." They're saying they're sorry, and then they try not to do it again. But it takes them about 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, maybe 10 times to get it right. Maybe they don't get it right on the first time, but they're working on it.
Not
because
my
kids are a work in progress.
Not my
They are a
child.
work
She
in
was
progress.
a work in
Some
process.
kids learn faster than others. Some kids need a little more time to catch on. You understand?
Well, this child was really swift on her feet, just like most of my nephews were swift on their feet. You told them not to do something, they understood, and they didn't do it.
I understood. I'll admit.
Right, you understood, and they never really got in trouble
They
for what
understood the first time.
they understood the first time they captured it.
Some people take 2 or 3 times.
Oh no, it don't take these kids. Believe
Actually,
me,
it really does.
their brains, like I tell
Not
you,
everybody.
us, we're getting older, so our brain cells are dying quicker than these kids. Everybody, the moment you're born, your brain cells start to die, but their cells they had everything intact pretty much.
In the military, we call that risk outweighs the benefits or whatever.
Risk outweighed the benefits.
So it was worth the risk.
And Janae didn't get in any trouble, so she knew that, hey, my mom's just going to talk to me, so let me just give this a try, and see if I can get away with it.
Well, you probably used to take things away from her that she liked. I'm quite sure if she kept doing something that you asked her not to do, right? whatever little things she liked, toys, dolls, or whatever, you probably made her leave it alone. Don't touch her right now. You
Right.
want a little time out or whatever.
You're right. You're right. You're right. I did
So
do
that was
that.
your witness.
But that I just wanted to state my reason for stating that this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. My parents never said that to me because, well, my mother really never spanked me that much, but my dad, if we did something wrong, we were getting our butt beat. Okay, and it's the difference from a spanking and a beat down. It's totally
So you
different.
learn fast, don't be bad.
However, I can respect the upbringing that we got as when my parents brought me up. I can respect that, and respecting others around you, like you said, if the
Right.
the neighbors and everything's
yes.
had the right to
They will
discipline
keep
you
you
as
up
well.
first, and then when the
I
parents get home,
respect
you get
that,
it in.
and that's what this generation is really lacking.
Yes, that's
They're
a true
they're
story.
really lacking that, because this generation of people, or whatever you want to call them, I don't even want to call them children, but
They're human
they
beings.
have no respect,
we still have to
none
consider them
whatsoever.
Can't nobody
Let-
tell us nothing.
Let my child. Now, even to this day, like me. Janae got the old school teaching. She got the old school teaching. She knows that when she goes around an older person that's older than herself, well, older than her, I should say, she is going to respect that person upright. Even if they saying something that she don't like, she just know to exit the room. But these young people today will come in people's house using profanity, will come in just, and I'm like, whoa, I don't even want you in my house, because your bad spirit might get all over the place.
Who are you?
Right. It's like, really, you don't even want to entertain them because they're so disrespectful. But what happened is the parents of my age did not teach their children what their parents taught them. Like Anthony's mom, he has a great mom. Woman has a lot of insight and everything. She taught these children, her kids, how to grow up and respect people. But did he?
Some of us listen, some of us didn't.
But did he give it to his children? That's the thing. And that's where we're lacking as a generation. Black people are lacking big time in a generation that they didn't take what their parents gave them and give it to their children. I definitely tried to give it to mine. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I will be damned if my child go around, especially if you in my face, and I don't care what the situation is, that you think that, you can just talk. Oh, no, girl, let me take you up right now.
Thank you for tuning in, people.
We're over. Junior wants to go get some tacos now, so it's a
I'm not
wrap.
trying to be disrespectful and cut somebody off.
I like this. Can we do this from
Wait. I have one more question.
Okay,
And
one
A
more.
question requires an answer.
I have one more question.
We're going to get tacos. Hold
I
on.
have one more question for you, Weesa, and I want to thank you for all your input, and perhaps Janae can answer some of this question before she leaves.
Oh, she leaving the building.
This is a 3-part question. And
We need one question? No.
No, it's a 3-part question.
Okay,
The
go.
first part of it is, you said when you were growing up as a kid, you either got spankings or beat downs. I understand
I said the difference between a spanking and a beat down is different. I got beat downs. Janae
Okay.
got spankings.
All right. So now
Janae, you're not going to get tacos with us?
So my question is, were you a fast learner by getting those beat downs? You were a fast learner, right? Mm-hmm. So you stopped what you
Yes.
were doing because you didn't like them.
Yes.
And what would you say the best way today is?
Or she
trying to
changed
raise
her
our
way
kids?
of getting caught.
Something.
Exactly.
Right. So she wouldn't get them no more.
Yeah, because I didn't want to. Oh my! Go out there and get me a switch. Oh wow. Okay.
All righty, audience. It was a pleasure speaking with you guys. Audience, we'll say night to Weesa and Junior, and also Anthony. We're gonna go off the air, but we'll be on the air again soon. Hopefully, we share some information with you guys, and thank you for listening. Tell them why, Weesa. You got it, man.
I just want to say I really enjoyed this podcast, even though I was awakened at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 a.m. Let's get that right, to join in, but I did enjoy it. Thank you so much.